Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We are here at Rasar State Park in Washington State and camped last night. Had a great time. We're gonna go check this place out, so come with us. So we are in Site 7. Pretty nice. Big spot for sure. Picnic table back there, fire pit, I'll show you that after. But this place is pretty dang nice, to say the least. Decent amount of spots, and kind of like you're in the rainforest. Pretty cool. These are a bunch of tent sites, but they allow vans and RVs too. As you can see, they're pretty long drive-in spots. And great for group camping because you have two spots together. You know, they're their own spots, but easily could hang out together. Same thing for those two spots down there. And right past spot 15 is the entrance to go on this little trail. Brittany's all excited about this giant leaf.
They're literally as big as your face.
They're huge.
They're so pretty.
So as you can see, these are all the trails. We're this mark right here. This is where we are. We're in campsites 1 to 23. Over on the other side, you do have more spots. And then up here, there are group camps. So we're here. We are going to go down, go along the river, and explore this 180-acre campground with, I believe it was 4,000 feet of shoreline along the Skagit River. I hope I said that right, but it's gonna be pretty cool down here, so let's get walking. And by now you've probably noticed we haven't had a video in a few weeks. I'm not sure if this is going to be the current video or not. We do have a couple videos in the queue, but we lost approximately 8 episodes of videos because our MacBook decided to die on us. We are going to take it to an Apple store, see if they can fix it up, but we had to go out and buy a new one. But I was stupid and did not back up those raw files a couple weeks ago when I threw them on to our MacBook, thinking I'll just get them edited, then back them up. Didn't happen, and now we are out some really great content for you all. But anyways, let's enjoy this beautiful hike. Look at these moss covered trees. That is amazing. All the ferns. I feel like I'm in Jurassic Park.
I feel like I'm in the rainforest.
I mean, technically, it is a rainforest. And we have another trail sign, so let's see where we're going. Alright everybody, it's showing we're right here. We have 2 trails, but just pay attention. Okay, so we started up here, we walked straight, showing another trail going straight down, one coming off at, 90 degrees. I'm gonna back up to where the trail is. Right here. I'm standing in the trail. I'm pretty sure we are at a T, so this would be 290 degrees, nothing going straight. So I don't know which way we're supposed to go, left or right. Put it in the comments which way you think we're gonna go, left or right. And like I said, here's the map.
It says we need to go straight.
It says we need to go straight, but there is no straight. Very weird. We decided to go right. We don't know if it's the correct way. Pretty dang cool though. Well, we are getting rained on right now. And our camera is not waterproof, so we'll see how this goes. Let's get to the river. Well, right was right.
River.
So we got the Skagit River.
Or is it Skagit?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We probably should have looked that up, but that's okay. People will correct us in the comments.
Tell us.
So we went the correct way. Right was right. So let's get down to the river. We can see it peeking through over there. There it is. With that, of course, awesome Pacific Northwest watercolor that all the water seems to have. The green and tint, greenish blue tint and clear. So we're gonna keep chugging along. Look at that water. It's quite amazing. We're underneath a tree for some rain coverage right now. But look at that. Definitely prime bear territory, to say the least. Because a lot of bushes right here. I don't know what these are. I've actually never see if it'll focus. I don't know if it's gonna focus or not. Here we go. Drop it in the comments if you know what these are right here. I mean, I know they're not like normally white, I'm assuming. It's just because they've obviously are dying and dropping to the ground and stuff. But interesting plant, but I'm assuming bears might like that unless it was poison berries or something of the sort. And now we can get a closer look. Some of us have reflexes like a cat, Brittany. We don't have to worry about slippery slopes.
Swim spot though, so you can go swimming here at the state park.
Are you gonna go swimming?
Absolutely not, but I wish it was nice enough to get my paddleboard out because I would love to go paddleboarding.
This is
stay tuned.
Beautiful. Yeah, we'll have a lot of paddleboarding this winter once we head a little south.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're looking a little, you know, eaten up by some bug right now, but bears definitely love those. Good thing it's going into winter. And now we're walking along this field. And I'll give you one guess what that trail is called. River to Field Trail. Very original, but fitting. But it's nice now because we're walking on grass. We can kind of clean our feet off a little bit.
Change of scenery.
And you might be able to hear in the background. Sounds like they are doing some work, and we can see they're doing some work. They're cleaning up along the trail. All the signs are down right now. The like information signs about plants and wildlife. So it looks like they're refreshing those. I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But this is a very well-maintained state park, that's for sure. So last week and the week before kind of was peak fall. So now you can see a few trees trying to hold on to the beautiful fall leaves, but the foliage is dropping. You can see a few trees bare. And another random thing. So we just saw in another couple's YouTube video that these trees covered with, you know, moss and just looking all cool over here. Let's get a closer look since we're going this way anyways. That these are predominantly up here in Washington State maple trees, which I did not know. Because we are used to much different looking maple trees back in the Northeast. So I don't know, obviously they could probably grow on many variety of trees, but yeah, that's a maple tree. So that's pretty crazy. I'm pretty sure, because this right here is what looks like to be a maple tree back home where we're from in the Northeast originally. But pretty cool, pretty interesting. Let me know if I'm correct about that, that a lot of these are maple trees here that are covered in moss. Just looks so much different than back in the Northeast where we grew up. We've managed to loop back around to the little beach. So on that note, we'll catch you back at the van. So we just got back in the van, and I don't know if you can read that. Winter weather advisory. Let me read it to you. Winter weather advisory. Description. What? Snow expected at or above elevations greater than 5,000 feet. And total snow could accumulate between 8 to 10 inches. The western slopes of the North Cascades and Passes. Primary area of concern will be along Highway 20. Well, we are on Highway 20, but we are only at 150 foot elevation, so we are west of where it's gonna get snowed on. Just looks like rain here tonight, and then actually no rain tomorrow, so that's pretty cool. But it will be nice to see hopefully some snow up on the mountains. There's already some snow up on Mount Baker and whatnot, but it'll be cool to see it slowly come down the mountains while we do not have to deal with it here. And if you're wondering, that's actually why we picked to come here and be in this area on the Washington coast, because very rarely do they get snow. The temperatures are pretty good. It's raining right now, that's why we were all bundled up, but it's right around 50 degrees, so not too shabby. But I think Brittany's getting into lunch since it is 2:30. We started filming this video a little late this afternoon, but we think we're going to do some sandwiches. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're doing grilled turkey and cheese, and we gotta choose what kind of soup we want.
Unfortunately, we kind of did make a big fail, and we didn't get tomato soup. That would have been splendid, but we do have chicken noodle, and then we have the Trader Joe's Autumn Harvest, which Brittany really likes. I don't think I've actually ever tried it, but probably give that a go and see, just because it's the closest thing to tomato soup that we have. Brittany has created a masterpiece of grilled turkey and cheese sandwiches that are going to go down the gillet. But it's looking pretty good, so we're going to munch into these. It's like the fall van life. I don't even know gods have came down and gave us a delicious meal with the rain falling down. It's actually really good. I was kind of skeptical of this autumn soup. It's tasty, so I recommend giving it a shot from Trader Joe's. It is tomato soup based, so it's pretty good, but it's got pumpkin and squash in it. Interesting flavor. Oh yeah. Well, it's been a few hours. We actually were on the phone with our friends Ashley and Peggy discussing our Baja winter van life plans, but we are now making dinner. And we're gonna make something a little unique, I think. Take a look at this. So we are making some quesadillas, but because we only have a little bit of salsa left, we are gonna make barbecue style quesadillas. Well, we dim the lights. We have the Kinder barbecue sauce as our candle in the middle. And we're going to test out these quesadillas.
That we just made up on the fly.
Yep. When you run out of salsa, that's what you have to do. So barbecue chicken quesadillas. Pretty good?
That was a genius recipe.
See how this goes. I didn't get any chicken. Oh yeah. That is good. Definitely recommend quesadillas in van life. Easy to do. And if you want to switch it up, barbecue chicken quesadillas. Or steak, but delicious. And on that note, it is movie time. See you in the morning. Well, good morning. It's actually good afternoon. It's almost 1 p.m. here. Just had a relaxing morning. We headed somewhere, but on our way there, we stopped and grabbed some coffee and Brittany got a smoothie. And we are somewhere really cool. It is actually Halloween today, so we wanted to take you somewhere with some interesting history. But we are here at Northern State Hospital Recreation Area. It's actually called Northern State Recreation Area, but this is a historic hospital that's over here. We'll go into details about that though once we walk over and check it out. So this is the Northern State Recreation Area, but it used to be the Northern State Hospital. It was actually an insane asylum. It opened in 1912 and eventually closed down in 1973. Obviously, the opinion of individuals in the states about mental institutions, insane asylums, and what they were doing back then, shifted. So they shut down like many across the country. This location is on the National Registry of Historic Places. It's quite important in history. Back in the early 1900s, Washington had two asylums, two big, large hospitals. They had the Eastern and the Western ones, but they needed another one because they had so many patients. So they opened Northern State, located right here on Route 20. It's kind of a convenient location, about 4 miles from a city. So, back then it was kind of thought of as the ideal location to kind of have a centralized hospital for those that needed it. And being that it's Halloween, we figured come here because, of course, lots and lots of stories about seeing ghosts, other hauntings, and it's reasonably so. I actually have a list here of incidents that took place like in 1921, August 9th, for example. A hospital attendant named James S. Hoolin was murdered by a patient. So there's one. And then of course you had patients that were mistreated or even beaten, which resulted in their passing. So lots of incidents. I don't want to go into all of them, and this is directly right on Wikipedia, so I don't know how accurate it is. Of course, anybody can chime in on Wikipedia, but I'm assuming, being a historical location, that a lot of this is probably accurate. But it just goes on and on about patients possibly being taken out by other patients, things like that. So, it's a pretty violent history. And there's even rumors that government programs like MK Ultra, which if you're not familiar, you should look that up. Government program using certain compounds to essentially mind control individuals. Testing if they could do that was common, unfortunately, back in the 50s and 60s and 70s. So the government would find universities, or more commonly asylums, and test out and do some kind of wild experiments. And MK Ultra is one of them. Documents have been released from the government, so this is all public knowledge. You can look it up. But this is one of the places that they suspect was a testing site for that program, as well as a few others. So we're actually searching to see if the hospital itself is in this public area on these grounds. A bunch of barns and things like that have been abandoned are over here, and we're probably the barns for the hospital, I'm assuming.
And they're still really cool to look at. They're actually in really good condition, considering.
Yeah, not too badly tagged, things like that. So that's positive. So we just ran into a really nice gentleman, and he was telling us he was actually looking for salmon. Because this time of the year the salmon will actually come up and spawn on this river and another one. The other one is more common to see them, but he was looking to see, not seeing any yet here. But this is a beautiful, beautiful property with lots and lots of trails. So definitely recommend coming to check it out, and obviously exploring the history a little bit about Northern State Hospital. But if you're just coming for recreation purposes,
Just a walk.
yeah,
It's beautiful.
amazing. So using good old trusty Google Maps, you can see where we are right there. That's the hospital, the big building right there. So we are almost there. We just got to figure out which way to go. Do we want to go straight?
This trail looks kind of fun.
Yeah, looks like straight will take us down the back road. So let's go. Into the woods we go. So this is the Swift Center over here. I don't know exactly what that is, but you know, they advise obviously to stay on the trail. There's residents and people working here, but I'm pretty sure we found the hospital.
Yeah, that's about right.
That is definitely the hospital right there. It looks like we actually could have drove right over to it, but I'm glad we didn't, because we got some awesome trails in. But this is pretty dang incredible. Wow. Man, oh man, I'm excited. So this right here is where Horton Hall used to stand. It actually was a men's hall, wards 8 and 9, and it served as tuberculosis wards. And then in 1947, Superintendent Dr. Chauvelin wrote, "We have 106 beds, tuberculosis patients, of which 99 are occupied." Wow. That is a lot of people with TB. I believe right over here, there's a sign right there so we can verify, but I believe this right here is Gray Hall that we just looked at. Over here, this would have been the main hospital. Over on the other side would be the women's ward. So this right here is Elliott Hall. This was also part of the men's side. This unfortunately isn't standing anymore. You can see the foundation for it. And like I said, then here begins the main hospital, followed by the women's side, the women's ward. We're trying to keep the history brief, but give you some important notes. But this is definitely a spot that you need to put on your list to come see. The buildings that are still standing are incredible shape. It's actually very impressive, and they're doing a phenomenal job of just maintaining the area. There's security, people that actually still work here over on the other side. Looks like there might be some businesses. So it's being well taken care of. State and private organizations seem to be doing an excellent job. So 2 thumbs up to those that are working on this place. And here the main hospital stands, still incredibly intact. Here at one point they had total capacity of 1,500, but they were way over that number. They're at 2,100, at least from what that sign said, at their peak, which is way over capacity. Led to not necessarily the best conditions. So that's a common problem that you found with a lot of these mental hospitals, unfortunately. So the official name for this main building is actually the Denny Building, or sometimes referred to as the Center. It's actually housed a lot of things, and it was built in 2 phases, built in 1912 and then in 1938. But this had in it 8 patient wards, large day rooms, offices for the staff as well as apartments for the staff, medical library, surgery suite, cooking and dining areas, you know, those type of things. Pretty incredible to say the least. And this building right here on the other side of the main building, or the Denny building, is the Women's Hall.
Coleman Hall.
So called the Coleman Hall. 1915. Beautiful building. There's a view from up top. So they've done a good job. That's an old building. That's the chapel right there. But they're doing a good job of blending in new buildings. And there's tons of cars over there because there's businesses. You can see lights on in here, people working. So they've done a pretty decent job of trying to keep with the theme, you know, and keep the traditional look. Down here at the end is a phenomenal building. We have no idea what that is, but I believe looks like it's an active business, so we're not gonna go over there. But we're gonna go around here to the other side of the buildings and kind of get a view. So this is the Women's Hall ward, and it actually looks like, now that we're looking at it, they've freshly painted it. They have swapped out some of the windows to better, you know, dual pane windows, and they've redone the roof. So we actually think maybe those buildings on the other side, maybe they were original buildings and they were restored like they're doing with this one. We don't have any information on that, so you'd have to look that up yourself and see, but it does look like that is actively being renovated. So that's pretty cool, you know, getting use out of some old buildings. So as I was saying earlier, they did things possibly rumored like MK Ultra, but for sure we know they did electroshock therapy, which surprisingly, as I was reading, you know, about the history of this, did you know that they still do electroshock therapy today?
Yep.
That's pretty wild. Obviously now they use very weak electrical currents, but that's pretty wild, but nothing compared to what they used to do, where they essentially fried people's brains. Pretty sad history. It is what it is. We live and learn. We move forward. We have places like this to remind us of those times and our history and, you know, mistakes we made and things we need to do better. But it's nice to just come and check out these places, feel the history. You can feel it because these buildings are just in such incredible shape. You know, they've weathered the storm. They have moss growing on the roof, vines growing up the sides. You have these beautiful sunrooms still intact. So these are like the rec area sunrooms where patients can just go sit, take in some vitamin C, read, you know, that type of thing. Or escape the reality of the situation that they were in, you know, maybe escape their own mind and just look out at a beautiful view like I'm looking at right now. Let me show you this. We have mountains over there, snow-capped. It's actually snowing over there right now, I can tell. And we are starting to get rain on us ourselves. So I think this is where we're gonna walk back, get to the van. Just about back to the van. They have a beautiful parking area, bathrooms. It's actually a veterans memorial also, so you have all the flags over there. Really beautiful spot. And there is a fifth wheel parked right there. So I think there's actually somebody that lives on site and manages the property or something, because it's a fifth wheel all hooked up. Person's got a nice little setup there, so they must watch over the property from vandalism, because we did see, unfortunately, a lot of tagging in miscellaneous spots. So good to have somebody here on site and look over that. Well, I told you we'd get back to the van, but I think we're going to close the video out here on our little nice stroll back over. It's been a great time over at the state park, at Rasar State Park. Beautiful state park. Only about 7 minutes, 10 minutes from here, not far. Maybe 10, 15.
Very peaceful.
Beautiful spot. So definitely highly recommend you check that out if you're in the area. But you definitely need to come over here and check out the Northern State Recreation Area. aka the Northern State Hospital.
So if you have enjoyed coming along with us, we of course hope you'll give this video a big thumbs up. You'll drop a comment below and let us know if you have ever been to this specific historic mental health hospital, or if you've been to any others that are historic or haunted around the country. Drop a comment below and let us know. And as always, we hope you'll consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already. We would love to have you along for all of our adventures. We will see you guys in the next video.
See you guys next time, and happy Halloween.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see